So while we are learning Java basics and Selenium automation, we are yet to start the Selenium part, right? But we are learning as of now the Java part, right? In that also, there is a very important concept of abstract class that we are going to see today. Okay, so we will talk about what is abstract class. Second thing is how to implement, how to implement. Okay. And third thing is we'll see practical example and some properties about abstract class. That is important. So what is abstract class? To understand this thing, I am taking help of this particular blog from or the tutorial from W3 Schools. They have defined it in a very good way. Okay. So under the Java abstraction chapter, they have mentioned that what is abstract class and the methods. Okay. So first of all, abstraction itself is one of the object-oriented concept in Java, which says that abstraction is the process of hiding certain detail and showing only essential information to the user, right? Abstraction in general is a simple English word which has something similar, what we say, the definition of it, that for any story, right? You write the abstract part, or for any project, generally we write on the very first page, like we write some abstract about, what it is, but we do not reveal everything on the very first page, correct? So in the same way, abstraction is also a concept which hides certain detail and shows only essential information to the user, right? So for example, another example may be like when you're using the car, um, there is, or two-wheeler, or any vehicle. Thing is, when you're using accelerator or the brake, you're just using it, right? You know the interface part of it, you know how you are going to use it, but you don't know how it is working internally. You don't know how, when you put a brake inside that, what is the mechanism, how the brake works. We don't know, right? Until, if you are very good in mechanical side, and if you have opened your vehicle inside and you have seen it and you understand it, that is a different thing, very specialized case, very different case. But in general, we don't know how it works. We don't know how accelerator works. We are using it. In the same way, for the abstraction part, it's like you are, the process of hiding those, details. Those still, those are important, but you are just seeing the essential information only. It's like to the user, right? As a programmer, we know everything, but as the user of that program or the software, they don't know. Okay. Now, abstraction can be achieved with either abstract class or interface, any one of this. And interface, we still have to see, we'll see it later on. Abstract itself is a keyword. Okay, abstract itself is a kind of keyword. So when we say keyword, it's reserved word in Java programming. Okay, so you have to use it when it is required. You cannot use it randomly anywhere. Okay, but what is abstract class? So here it is, what we are going to do is a restricted class that cannot be used to create object. To access it, it must be inherited from another class. How simple it is. It's saying that abstract class is one such class which for which you cannot create object. It's very rare, right? Generally, we create the class so that we can create the object, but you cannot use it to create object, but you can access it by inheriting it. So that's possible. Okay. We'll come to the abstract method. Don't worry. So let's implement first what we are saying about abstract class, right? We'll refer to the same example what they have given here, but I'll not copy paste. We'll write a new class here. So let's create one package first. I'm creating a package in my Java project. Package, this one. I just want to keep, this is like some advanced concept. So I'm making one advanced package. Okay. There will create the class. I'm creating a class. Class name is animal. Okay. And it's asking, you see here, modifier. It's asking me whether it is abstract class or something. So it's fine. You keep it abstract, or explicitly, well, the class will be created. You can put abstract. That is fine. Okay. It's finished. So if you see here, I'm saying it's an abstract class. So before the class, you have to add a keyword called abstract. Fine. So with an animal, right, there will be some function, how animal works. They will sleep and there will be some sound, correct? They can sleep and there will be some sound for uh, any animal, right? So here I'm copying pasting this. Don't worry about why there is a there is no main method. So that is again an interview question. If somebody will ask you, is it required to have main method every time in a class? No, it's not true. Okay. So without main method also, you can have classes, the function, the data properties. It's possible. Main method is required to start from the main function. If you want to execute your program from main function, right, starting point, then main method is required. Otherwise, there may be some classes from which you are just using their functions or the properties. Okay. Now let's understand. We have here two functions. One is this, which is just kind of signature here. Nothing, no definition part of it. So this is called abstract function. Okay, this is called abstract function. So before function also, you can keep the keyword abstract here, right? So what does that mean? What is abstract method then? We're going to see this thing. But let's understand this is another function, which is non-abstract. This is not, it's a normal function, right? Whenever you will call this function, this will be printed. System.out.println. This ZZZ will be printed. Fine. Okay. Going back to this. So what is the abstract method? This can only be used in abstract class, and it does not have a body. The body is provided by the subclass. Wow. So what it is saying that this particular method, you have put it here. That's fine. But there is no body part. Body means the implementation part. There is no implementation part. Like sleep, we have one implementation. But abstract method, they will not have the implementation part on the abstract class. Some other class which will extend this, some other class which will be the child class of this class, this particular class, will be implementing it, right? So that's the whole idea about the abstract class. We'll see in 5 minutes. Don't worry. Let's, as of now, just understand that what we say, the words, the implementation part of it, like what we are doing inside one abstract class. So one abstract class can have abstract method as well as non-abstract method also. Okay, fine. So abstract class can have both abstract and regular methods. So when we are saying regular method, sleep here is the regular method and animal sound is the abstract method. Now, can we create the object? Is it possible? Let's see that part first. So let's create the main function here so that the confusion about whether we can have main function or not in an abstract class will be solved. Okay, so this is the way we write one main function in a Java class. And here, let me write it system.out.println. Just I'm writing, hi, I am inside main. Save, and I'll run this. I'm just running this abstract class. I'm able to run it. So your problem is resolved. You can have main function in the abstract class. No issue. There is no problem here. But can I create the object of my own class? So for example, here I will say animal ANM1 is equals to new animal. So this is the way we create the objects, correct? Let me delete it. Okay, and semicolon here. So what it is saying, when I hover over it, it's showing me error actually while creating the object itself. It's saying that cannot instantiate the type animal. It's saying that you cannot instantiate, you cannot create an object of animal class because this is abstract. Okay, very simple reason. So this is not allowed. Creating object is not allowed for abstract class. Not allowed. Fine. Okay, but then how to use it? So for example, I want to call sleep function. I want to call sleep function of this abstract class, or I want to have this animal sound somewhere. How to do that? So that will be achieved through inheritance only. Okay. Inheritance means you have to create a subclass. Now, to access the abstract class, it must be inherited from another class. Let's convert the animal class we used in the polymorphism chapter to an abstract class. Okay, no problem. I'm coming here. So this abstract class part is done. We have written something like this. Fine. Then another class, let's say a type of animal, right? They will extend the animal. It will be like this. So let's do that part now. Fine. So let's create another class. We will create one more class. And the name of the class is pig. Okay. And it will have a main function. Fine. So this is pig class. Fine. Okay. But here I'm writing the pig will be the extension of animal. Okay. It's like pig is a type of animal, right? So when we do extends, why we do? Because let's understand the basic concept about inheritance is you want to use some properties from your parent class. Okay. You want to use some of the properties from the parent class. Let me show in this way. So this is your parent class, which is animal. And this is your child class, which is pig. Okay. But how to make it child? So here you have to use a keyword called extends. What it extends? It extends animal. Fine. But the moment I did it, it's showing me one error. if I hover over it, it will say the type pig must implement the inherited abstract method animal sound. What it is saying that if you want to extend animal, there is one abstract method which is not defined. Abstract means it's not defined actually. Their child will define it. It's like, having a property in real life, having a property which is just a kind of, it's there in some bag or some old, what we say, place where it is there in a secret room, right? Only their what we say, descendants, their child, right, or child's child, they will be able to use it on their own way. It's like this. So here it's a property which is secretive. The name of the property is fine. The method is animal sound. But how the animal sound will work, that will be defined by a particular class which will extend animal. It's like this. So here it is saying that you have to, define this. So we will copy this and we'll put it here. But this time we'll define it like this. But it will not be abstract this time. It will be a simple method. Okay. Now the error is gone. So what we have done is, at the line number 5, if you see in animal.java, there was one abstract method. If you are extending one abstract class, you have to implement or define properly all the abstract method which was there in parent. So one of the method as of now is animal sound. So pig, how they sound, that will be defined, in its own way. So for example, this one is this. Okay. So you are saying system.out.println, the pig says VV, something like that. Don't worry about it. Now it's fine. But this animal sound is basically the function of what we say, animal class. Okay. You are having it because you are a child of animal class. You are able to see that. But how we can then call all these functions? Let's understand that part now. So here in the main function, I'm putting this. That is very simple concept. Like you can create object of your own class, right? That's fine. So you're saying pig, my pig is equals to new pig. When you do that, you will be able to call the functions which is present in your own class also, and the functions which are present in your parent class also. Okay, it's very simple concept. When you have extended animal, any class, the functions which are present here in your parent class, right, this one, you can access it through child object also. It's possible. So you're calling animal sound, my pig dot animal sound. You're calling this function. So this will be called, right? This will be called. Obviously, this function will be called because, you have that in your own class. So it will call this. But sleep function is not defined in pig class. Sleep function is not defined. So it will search first here. Is there any sleep function here? No. If it is not there, it will go to its parent and check, okay, is there any sleep function? Yes. So these will be called. So, how it will work? It will first print the pig says that, and then it will print, the sleep part. Okay. So if I'm running this, I'm able to see the output. Let me show it here. I'm able to see output. It's saying that the pig says VV and then ZZZ, those things. Fine. So this is how abstract works. Okay. Any other thing? Why we use abstract? That is also important. To achieve security. Hide certain details that only shows the important details of an object. How good it is. See, here, this particular class do not know how the sleep function works, but still they can use it. First thing. Second thing is they have their own freedom to define the animal sound part. One more thing, it imposes it. The abstract concept is imposing or restricting their child class, that you cannot make a child class of me until you actually redefine or implement the abstract part on your own way. Okay, that is providing you a way that, okay, you can extend me, that's fine, but define how you want to sound on your own way. Okay, it's like this. As well as some basic functionality you can use as it is. So every animal sleeps like this. Let's in a simple word we are saying here that, okay, every will sleep something like this. It's like this. Okay, fine. So it achieves some security also. Abstraction can also be achieved with interface. So abstraction is a concept. It's not like that abstraction can be achieved only through abstract class. Abstraction can be achieved through abstract class or interface also. We'll learn it later on. That's it. But we are going to see more example. Don't worry. Okay. Somebody has asked, do we use abstraction in Selenium? Okay. So let's understand that it's a concept you can use anywhere, wherever you think that you want to create some kind of class, right? Some kind of class where I have some generic functions, some functions which are common, and some functions which you want that your child will do it. Your child will implement it. So it's up to you whether you use it inside your Selenium program or not. But as a simple example, I can tell you, the thing is when you use this WebDriver, right? So WebDriver is itself one interface, okay, which is implemented by different classes or the browser classes, okay. So here we see that you can have multiple abstract method. That's perfectly fine. You can create another abstract method, animal walk. But when you're creating it, then all the child class must implement the abstract method again in their child block. This blocks you have to, again, animal block should be implemented here. Okay, fine. We'll see more example. And one abstract class can be extended by multiple classes also. It's possible. Okay, so it's like animal. So there will be another class, let's say what we say, wild animal, right? That can extend animal, right? It's possible. Or a particular animal name that can extend the animal class. Okay, fine. More examples we want to see. So I will use some other blog here. You can go through the theory and all. We are seeing exact implementation and all the questions which we can have. Okay, fine. I'm not going to the theory. So, you know, there are other examples also. They have given some example. Okay, okay, okay. Oh, this employee one. It will be good. I think this will be good example. Are we seeing the abstract only? Okay, yes. So one abstract class employee can have, let me maximize this so that the better visibility will be there. So there is an abstract class employee, fine. It may have its own properties, name, address, phone number, something like that. It can have its constructor, okay. Then it can have its functions, pay calculation, mail check, some toString part. Don't worry about getter and setter functions, okay. Then there can be a class abstract demo, okay. And you want to create object of this class. Which one? Employee class. Okay, we'll see whether this is possible or not, right? It will show you error. Fine. Let's implement the same thing. It's a good example, real example, and through which you will be able to understand that are we doing any mistakes. So let's create a class employee. Same example we'll implement and we'll talk about it. Let me close this. Okay, I'll close everything. And we will create a new class. In the advanced, we'll create new class employee and finish. But inside the employee, we have something, right? So here I'm copying all these things. If you have doubt about any line number, right? Let me know. I will copy till this. Okay. And I'll put it here. Fine. But this class is not a normal class. This class is, what we have here is, it's an abstract class. So I'm copying it. It's public abstract class employee. Done. Here, you have all these functions, right? You have not used here abstract keyword in those functions. Okay, that's fine. Okay, it's a normal class. It looks like a very normal class where you have name, address, number, and there is one constructor. Okay, so whenever you will create object of this employee class, you will pass these three values, name, address, and number, that will be set for its instance variable. Fine. There are functions, compute pay. Okay, that will compute some salary calculation. So calculation part is not here, right? But let's understand some kind of, salary calculation mechanism will come. That's fine. It is returning as of now 0.0, right? Because we don't want to write the whole code, right? We have to understand the concept of abstraction. And then there is mail check, which will, say that you are, checking the mail for this name and this address, something like that. To string function, whenever you will call this, it will present you that what is the name, address, and number of a particular, let's say, employee, right? Get name, get address, set name, something like these are called getter and setter methods. Okay, not mandatory. You don't have to do this thing, but it's fine. How getter and setter works is whenever you will call this function, it will return you the name of that employee, right? And same is with address. And if you want to set those things, you can set. Fine, that's it. But then, let's try to uh, create a separate class, which will, um, let's create it first, then we'll talk about it. What is working, what is not working, and everything. So in general, what we do, we create another class, let's say, where we want to use the function of employee class, correct? So we'll say there is a class, let's say abstract demo. I'll make a main function also here. And here, hold on, we'll keep it here. Okay. So in this class, what we want to achieve, we want to create object and we want to call some function. Great, we'll do that. So here, what I want to do is, concentrate on this part, the right hand side part. There is a class abstract demo. I want to create an object of employee. It's possible, it's not like that you have to extend it, then only you can create the object. It's possible because both classes are in the same package, advanced package, and both are public. Both are public also. Fine. So I'm not extending it. I'm just using the functions which is present in another class. So employee E is equals to new employee, the name and the address and the number I'm sending. Fine. So why it is not allowing me? So it's saying cannot instantiate the type employee. First thing. Why? So there is a property about the abstract class. You cannot create object of, or you cannot instantiate abstract class. Simple logic. You cannot do that. Even though it's public, you cannot do it. It's a kind of security that you cannot create the object of these things. And moreover, it's like hiding the detail that, see, if you will be able to do this thing, you will be able to do E dot. So that will show you there is a name, there is an address, there is a number. So we're hiding those details. We are not able to do that, right? So that's why abstraction is important. Somebody was asking why we are doing abstraction. Let's understand. If you're not able to create the object, you will not be able to see the properties in that class. If you are able to do it, then you will be able to see E dot name, E dot address, E dot number, or you will be able to access all those properties. But we are restricting it through abstraction. Okay. One thing. So that is showing me error. You cannot do that. So let me come back to this. Fine. So the theoretical part, whatever we discussed is there. So it will show you this kind of error. Now, how to achieve that then? There is an error, that's fine. But then how I can achieve that part now? So what they are saying is, this is fine. I'll keep it as it is because there is an error. Fine, there is error. But let's create another class, which is, what is this? Salary. Okay. Let me create one more class. Class salary. Okay. That may have a main function. Okay. And let's create this salary implementation part. So what it is saying that in the salary class, you can have double salary, your own thing, that's fine. And let me copy all these things and I'll put it here. Hold on. And okay, it's showing me error. Why? So I'm saying call a super constructor or constructor from the super class. You cannot use it. You cannot use it. If you want to use it, you have to extend your parent. Let's understand. You cannot use super keyword randomly. So super you can use to call the constructor of its parent class. But we have not defined its parent. So let's define it. So we'll say extends, it extends employee. Employee. Fine. That's it. Error is gone. So I am able to call the constructor which does something. Okay. And then I can call a function set salary. So I want to set the salary. Okay. And as of now, it's zero, right? If you're not defining it, it's zero. If you're not defining it, it's zero. And there are functions, mail check and all, right? So let's delete that. I'm deleting it. I don't want this. Is there any error? Yes, it's showing me some error. What error it is? At the end, okay, let me resolve this first. There is one more bracket will come. Save it. So mail check, I'm not creating it. So that's fine. You cannot have mail check. So it's not, so this function is a normal function in the parent class. Okay. So that is there. It's up to you whether you want to override or not. So this concept is called overriding, where you are redefining any function which is present in their parent also. Fine. Okay, that's fine. So mail check, get salary, set salary. There are some functions. We are not going to understand about how this works. There's some logic they have written. But the simple thing is, in abstract class, if you have this kind of functions which are not abstract, you can override it. It's possible. Okay, simple one. So now you can have a class where you want to create the object of this and all this. So you'll be able to do that. Okay, you will be able to achieve it, but it's a little bit different. If you see here, we are saying salary S is equals to new salary. That's perfectly fine. You can achieve it. But if you see this line, it's saying employee E is equals to new salary. It's not saying employee E is equals to new employee. So that is how we are implementing the whole abstraction part, that you are creating a function, a class abstract demo, and this is fine, right? Anybody can do that, because this class, this particular class, salary, is a very simple class only, right? Which has its own constructor and their own functions. That's perfectly fine. But here, if you see here, if you want to create new employee, it's not possible, because employee is abstract class. You cannot do it. You have to come through its child. It's like this. You have to come through its child. Then it's possible. So you can relate it with, if you have learned Selenium, right? What we write? Driver is equals to new Chrome driver. We don't write new web driver. Okay. We write new Chrome driver or Firefox driver, something like that. So basically, let's go back to abstract demo class. Where was that? Let me open this, and we have to correct it. Here, let me close all those things. Here, basically, you cannot do new employee. It's better you create employee E is equals to new salary. Let me delete this. Okay. So, okay, and this function I don't want. Fine. So here, if you see employee E is equals to new salary, you are creating the object of salary, but putting the reference of employee. It's like this, right? So new salary, and then how it will work, it will create the instance of salary. So it will go here, name, address. So name will go to a particular, John Adams will go there, Boston MA address. There are 4 things which will be set, right? 4 values. Then we are saying super. So it will call it super class, and it will pass this name, address, and number. So the thing is, things are set like the name, address, and number, but the salary is its own. salary is the property of salary class. Okay. The name is same, so you will get confused. This name can be anything, just SAL or S will also can also be there, right? So that's fine. Let's make it SAL only to have less confusion. And this can be anything. It can be just myself, something like that. And this will be set salary myself. So you're setting it. Okay. Myself. So basically, whenever there is, I'll show you. Set salary, what it is going to do, it will set the cell value. So if you see here, it should be cell. Okay, fine. Fine. Here, just a minute. Fine. Here, we are, creating the salary object, passing these 4 values. These 3 values, the first 3 value will go to the parent constructor, and through the parent constructor, you are setting the values for salary class. It doesn't mean that you are setting everything for the employee. Let's understand. When you extend the employee, you already have all the properties of your parent class. What was that? Any employee. This one, it is a private property. That's fine. But your child can access it through the getter setter and through the constructor also. Okay, so it works like that. And now you'll be able to execute it. So if I run this thing, I'm able to see constructing an employee call mail check using, what was that? Let's see the output. Call mail check using salary reference. That's fine. So here it is printing it. And then system.in call mail check using employee reference. So in both ways. So call is a function, mail check is a function which is present in the parent also, right? So the employee also, that function is present, right? This one. But you have to understand when a particular thing will be called, right? You have to understand that when what will be called. Here also you're calling mail check. Here also you're calling mail check. Both are different things. Okay. Just a minute. So there are a lot of other things also. If you have to read the whole this tutorial, right, to understand it again and implement it on your own way, so that you will be able to understand fully how it works. Okay, but the basic example we have seen. Okay, how it works, what are the things possible, what are the things are not allowed, right? So one abstract class, what we have seen here is one abstract class. Okay, let me delete it. It's possible that there is no abstract method in the whole class. Have you seen any abstract method? No, we did not write abstract keyword here, right? First thing. Second thing is, when you are using abstract keyword, then there will be no definition. There is nothing will be there, right? It will be just public abstract double compute pay and the bracket. That's it. Okay. So there is no abstract method here, but it's still this class is abstract. Oh, when you put it abstract, the very first property is nobody can create the object of this. Okay. Even though it's public. Public means the visibility of this class is fine. You can extend it. But if you have written abstract, you cannot instantiate it. You have to instantiate it through its child. Okay, it's like this. So there's a very basic, proper example, proper way of how you are writing abstract class, how it works, and everything is present here in this particular tutorial. It's good. You can go through this. Fine. So today, what we have achieved, we have seen what is abstract class, how to implement it, and the practical also. We did it. I will put it here also as a record that we did practical from here. Right. That's it for today, guys.